What is up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Sorry about the lateness, technical difficulties. But here we go. Here we go. Welcome to the show, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yee. Yee. All right. Give it a couple more minutes before we start. Yeah. Again, sorry about the lateness, technical difficulties, but we're going to dive in. So today's show is going to be about a couple things. We're going to talk about some couple things. First, favorite villains. All right. I think in my last few videos, I've talked about every superhero I like. Maybe I mentioned a couple of villains that I made like. Pretty sure that video for Marvel, it was more about the villains that I've seen in these films that I feel like they didn't do them as well as I would have hoped. But today we're going to talk about your boy's favorite villains. And if it isn't already obvious, main guy is my man Venom. Venom. Venom, man, I have a deep rooted love for my man Venom. So, first of all, give me 1 second, y'all. First of all, Venom. Oh, shout out to Big Bro, my boy Elliot. If he's watching, he put me on everything that you see in this background. Those are his drawings. These are his drawings in the back. If you can't really see them, maybe one day I'll do a video of the room so you can see. But yeah, shout out to Big Bro. Appreciate you for putting me on as a youngin'. So I believe both of our favorite superhero in Marvel is Spider-Man. He loves to draw Spider-Man, and I love everything about him. 1 second. And so yeah, he loves to draw him, and ever since I've seen him draw Spider-Man, I've been an absolute fan. And I started watching the series. If you've seen the series, the animated series of Spider-Man, and I was always curious because when I first started that show, you see in the intro Venom's symbiote, but you don't actually see. Well, yeah, you see like a little part of Venom in that intro, and I was always wanting to see that episode, like who's he, how he come about, what's his relationship to Spider-Man, and what is that? Because that looks so dope. And then when that episode finally came on, I fell absolutely in love with it. I love everything about the symbiote, its powers, what it does, what it looks like, everything. And I dived in a little bit more after that, and I saw like the powers he has, why he looks the way he looks, and I believe my brother told me a little bit about that. So the fact that the suit itself didn't like the rejection from Spider-Man, and that's why he looks all evil now, and of course it absorbed its powers from Spider-Man, and then now it can block Spidey's spider sense, and his webbing is so much stronger. Oh, see the look. It's awesome. The black suit of Spider-Man, again, all that I'm all about. And then growing up even more, this game on Sega came out. For those of you that know, you know what I'm talking about. Let me see if I can get an image here going for that. It was I'm pretty sure it's called Anxiety Separation. Uh, Let me see if I can find it so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And the cover itself of this game, I was just in love with. Um, there it is. Da, 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 da. I'll pull it up shortly. Let's see, StreamYard. Share my screen. If y'all can see that, this game itself was just, man, I loved this game. And it was just an incredible game. And then found out because obviously you see Scream on there, and I didn't know who Scream was at the time. And then Big Bro again put me on and was like, hey, this is Scream. Scream comes from Carnage, and so on and so forth. And then I got introduced to all the other symbiotes like Phage, Lasher, Riot, Scream, Agony. I wasn't really a huge fan of Toxin, or not Toxin. I meant the hybrid where they all fuse together. I was like, whatever. But yeah, Venom, being that he created everything, I guess, or it started with Venom. I don't know. I love Venom, and as you can see, most of my stuff in the back here is Venom or Venom and Carnage. Venom and Carnage OGs, just love it. So that was where my love for that came. Now, my second favorite villain is the one and only Magneto. Now, my love for that first came from my brother. I think my brother's a huge Magneto fan. Um, I started diving more into Magneto when they did um, the the continuation of the X-Men 97 series. Um, Give me a second, guys. But yeah, so when they did the continuation of that show, Magneto there, I don't know why it just hit different. It just hit so different. How he speaks and his mission, and it gave me, I guess, a different point of view on, what he was trying to do. If you guys haven't seen that show, please see that show. I promise you it's so good. I believe there's a second season out already. Very, very, very good, and watch it. And so after that show, I was like, man, I'm gonna watch the movies again and see if maybe the actors are somewhat similar to that Magneto, and rewatch the original films. And man, I can understand it, and or his point of view on things, on like not wanting to help humans and only looking out for mutants. So I love that. I love that. And because of that, it led me to my next favorite villain, which is my man Thanos. Thanos. Um, so Thanos, I started bugging out when they introduced, or when they first did the Avengers movie, the first Avengers movie at the credit scene of that Avengers movie, like everybody's still thinking. Actually, I don't even think anybody's expected to see a Thanos. Um, I think what they were doing was just getting everybody together on the screen. Everybody was tripping out that we were going to see the Avengers movie, right? But I don't think anybody's expected who or they were going to fight, what the whole mission or the whole point of doing all these movies was going to be. They end up fighting the Chitauri, whatever they're called, in that movie, and it was just badass seeing everybody, and then making Loki the main villain in that movie. Um, now I want to say I had suspicion of it because you see the scene where he in the very beginning of that movie when he gets the Tesseract, he's in space again and he's talking to somebody, and you're like, who does this guy work for, or is this the main bad guy? Like, what is going on here? Um, and you again didn't know what it was or who was it going to be. Give me a second here, guys. And so, um, and I'm still thinking, watching this scene, I'm like, who is this? Who is this? Who is it going to be? Um, and why they're in space? Like, I'm looking in the background because by this point, I'm trying to figure out or try to notice every little thing that they might throw in there that I didn't catch. I think I started doing that too whenever Iron Man came out, the first one, because you see Cap's shield in the background, and if you didn't look at that background when that scene came on, you would miss it. And the scene's quick. And I remember looking up on comicbookmovie.com is where they first show it. Like, yeah, if you guys didn't miss it or you guys didn't see it, you missed it, and this is what you missed out on on that screen. So ever since then, I've been looking at every background on every scene as much as I can. So I'm watching this scene again with Loki in space, and I'm like, who is he talking to? Who could this be, or whatever, whatever. And then after that, you watch the rest of the movie, and at the end, you see the credit scene, you see Thanos, and I'm spazzing out because besides the comics, I've always played this game, Marvel vs. Capcom. Again, for those that know the game, it's a classic, great game, and where you can play as Thanos and you can use the gauntlet. He's doing all. I think one of his, I guess I don't know what you call it, super moves or whatever that he does in the game is using the gauntlets, or each stone had a certain power to it or whatever. And it was awesome. I remember seeing him like, man, this guy's a badass. And my brother, of course, telling me a little bit more about him when we're playing the game. And I'm like, there's no way we're going to see this guy on a live action movie. And I was looking more forward to Infinity War than any other movie coming out. Like, of course, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching like Thor, Cap, Iron Man 2 and 3, and him introducing Thor, the Black Panther, Ant-Man, Spider-Man, Civil War. It was great watching all these films. And it wasn't again crazy, but like, I see we got my sister in the chat. What is up? What is up, sis? Appreciate you joining. But yeah, I was looking forward to watching all these movies, but I'm like, man, this is not gonna compare to when Infinity War comes out. And then when that thing dropped, I saw that movie like 4 times before seeing it with like the family or whatever, because we had a thing going on where like we all get together, watch those movies. And at the time, my job offered tickets like 3 days prior to the movie dropping, and no one was going to be able to see it. So of course I signed up for a couple of tickets, and I already had bought my own tickets because it came out like 3 days before. I think I got the midnight showing at that time, and then I saw it again with like family, and I love that movie. Thanos was unbelievable. I love the voice. I love how now I do wish that he would have had his original armor, which he actually did in the beginning, but he ends up taking it off, and it's just the gauntlet. I'm like, eh. And I'm pretty sure I also mentioned in one of my other videos that I'm a huge bad guy fan. I root more for the bad guys than the good guys. And I've always wanted to see a film where the bad guy wins, and they finally gave that to me. I believe it's sure I said that on my Star Wars episode on my channel, because it's the same thing that happens there. Like the bad guys win in that third film, and so Thanos, and I wasn't even expecting to see what we saw on that movie. I was because it was a two-parter. It was part one and part two, um, or Infinity War and Endgame. So I was thinking maybe in this first film, he's gonna find the gauntlet and then maybe get a couple of stones, and then we won't see the real stuff until Endgame, and then see him collect the other stones and then wipe everybody out. And this was all just again, I'm talking to my friends, family. I'm like, what can this movie possibly be about? What are we going to see? Are we actually going to see all these superheroes fighting this one guy at the same time? And it was a lot. It was a lot. I'm not even going to name all because there's a lot of superheroes, but seeing everybody fight him, and I'm like, is it just going to be Thanos? Is it like, there's no way. There's no way it has to be. It can't be just him. He's got to have somebody. And then never thought about seeing the Black Order come in, and so great that they put him in there. And then, of course, the Chitauri army that he's had, which makes sense. And seeing that fight and him again with his gauntlet not doing a damn thing and just saying, go mess them up and then bring me the stones or whatever. Badass, 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 badass. I love it. And seeing him assemble the gauntlet, how he got it, how easy it was for him to do it. And the second credit scene in Avengers Age of Ultron, love it. I to this day, I will maybe one day I'm thinking about, or I might be watching some sort of Marvel movie, and I'm like, I gotta see this. I gotta see that credit scene again, where he finally puts the gauntlet on, and he's like, fine, I'll do it myself. And I'm just like, I just lose my shit. And then I remember too when Guardians of the Galaxy first came out. I was talking to my brother, and I was telling him dude, rumor is that we're gonna see Thanos in this movie, and this is before obviously Infinity War came out. And I'm watching, and this scene comes on, and you actually see Thanos for the first time, and I again lose my shit because again the way he speaks and basically punking Ronan, the accuser in that movie, and I'm just like, dude, this is insane. And it just kind of amps up on what we could expect from Thanos in Infinity War. And it did not disappoint. So shout out to the directors for that and the story writers that made me fall in love with Thanos all over again. One second, guys. And yeah, and even a part of that, I made myself I want to go back and see X-Men again and see how Magneto was played. And again, great. Magneto was awesome, and I have high hopes or high expectations for. Now I don't know how true this is. I have high expectations for this Marvel or Avengers versus X-Men movie. That's a rumor out there. I'm not entirely sure that's something that's going to happen. But it's very, very possible. Because at the end of Captain Marvel, I believe it's where it's called the Marvels, something like that. I forget where you see all three Marvels. At the credit scene of that, you see the Beast with Maria Rambeau's Captain Marvel, and of course we saw the Illuminati and Doctor Strange's movie. So, and you see Charles, they talk about the multiverse, and so it's very, very, very possible to see Avengers versus X-Men. I'm pretty confident there was a book, comic about that. I'm pretty sure there was games out there too about it. So I'm picturing now or imagining, will there ever be a plot where we may see Thanos on the bad guy team and see him with Magneto, and now that we have Galactus, will we see Galactus? Will we see Silver Surfer on this team? Now, of course, sister says she hopes so. Me too. To see, can you imagine what that fight scene might look like, and seeing all the superheroes at the same time? Now, when we dive into Doomsday, I'll talk a little bit more about that, but it's very hard to picture that. Like, it's amazing. Like Thanos, uh maybe Scarlet Witch, because she did end the movie as a bad guy. Who knows? And uh would she be coming back as a bad guy, as a good guy? Would we see Magneto's brotherhood with Thanos? Would we see Loki come back? Will we see Apocalypse? Which is again very, very possible. The possibilities are endless. Because I would love to see like Magneto, Juggernaut, Pyro, Multiple Man, Mystique, Toad, because they did bring back Pyro in that Deadpool versus Wolverine, and I don't believe he died in that movie. Neither did Toad. So I can see them bringing them back. I mean, who knows, man? Like it's so many things are possible at this point, and I'm talking future projects. So right now, all we know is Doomsday is coming and Secret Wars. So I guess let's cross that bridge when we get there, right? But yeah, those are my three favorite villains. My man Venom, the master symbiote, the king of symbiotes. I'm gonna throw Carnage in there too. Carnage is badass. I do love all the symbiotes, and it's great. Apocalypse, she says, what's his story? Apocalypse is basically a mutant god. Just like you see in the movie. He's a god. He can basically, he's got everybody's powers. He can do absolutely anything, and he's a big threat. And maybe that would be an episode, Apocalypse. That would be a good conversation. Not too many people know who he is, or what he can do, and what his role is in these possible future films. So maybe that'll be an episode. So stay tuned. So Venom, yes, he is my all-time favorite. I remember saying as a kid that I was gonna get this tattooed on me. I was that much in love with him and wrap it all the way around. But I don't think I got the body for it. So that's not gonna happen. But yeah, he's my favorite, absolute favorite. I can have anything Venom related and I will rock it in some way. This is actually my second shirt because my first one worn out so bad. But yeah, Venom, that whole symbiote family is my top. Thanos would definitely be number 2, and my man Magneto as number 3. And again, shout out to Big Bro for putting me on all of this. And maybe I'll get a Marvel tattoo sleeve. I don't know. We'll see. And we're gonna now move on to another topic here, which is something big going on. Tom Holland apparently no longer being in Doomsday. Uh-oh. What is this? Why is this? What's going on? So now we're going to dive in a little bit into Doomsday and Secret War. And as I mentioned in another episode, I don't believe Actually, no, that episode hasn't dropped yet, but that will be dropping next week. I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, I don't believe that there might be one comic book on Doomsday, with Doctor Doom, man, but I haven't read it. I don't know anything about that, so I'm not really too sure what Doomsday can be. But why am I talking about Tom Holland and Doomsday if I don't know it, right? Tom Holland still, or Spider-Man, is in Secret Wars. So now, of course, rumor. I mean, they confirmed it, so I don't think it's a rumor. But let's just talk about it anyways for shits and gigs, right? So Tom Holland apparently not in Doomsday no more, right? And now he's in Secret Wars. So for those of you who haven't read it, that are watching, spoiler alert, get off, but don't at the same time. Think about it. Um, and I think this is kind of why they didn't do, or they didn't bring Venom into that last Spider-Man film, because in this book, for Secret Wars, this is where Spider-Man first gets the black suit symbiote and becomes the black suit of Spider-Man. He gets it in this fight and tears shit up. So that's probably why they didn't bring in Venom like we all thought he would, because there was I think there was 2 credit scenes where Venom, or Tom Hardy's Venom, comes into Tom Holland's universe, and then at the end of Venom 2, I believe he goes back into his own universe or something like that, and everybody's like, what was the whole point of that? So I think that originally they want to make Venom a part of the Sinister Six for that film, and chose not to, because they're planning on introducing Venom, or the suit at least, in Secret Wars when that comes out. So this is why I wanted to talk about it, because who knows the real reason why he's not in this movie no more, but he was in Secret Wars. So are they doing that to hide something? As in, are they trying to save a surprise for us for later by not putting him in there? Maybe hyping up. Again, this is all my suspicion. They probably are just not putting him in there so that we can be surprised when he comes back and with the suit. Maybe to throw everybody off from a different surprise that they're trying to do. And what was going to be his role anyways in Doomsday? Now, if you've seen the leaks online, there's scenes supposedly from this Doomsday movie that were leaked, and you see Doctor Doom on the throne. You see Doctor Strange, I believe it was, like his servant to his left. You see, I believe it was, I want to say Mr. Fantastic, like bent over in shackles in front of Doom. You see Hulk and She-Hulk as a couple. Now all of that reminds me of the Masters of Evil, which is Doctor Doom and a bunch of bad guys trying to take over the world. And I believe it was in a video game too. And that scenery from these leaked photos from that movie gives me those vibes. So is this the surprise? Because I don't believe, now might be wrong, but I don't believe Spider-Man was in anything related to the Masters of Evil. But at the same time, could they? Because that would eventually have to lead into Secret Wars, and not everybody from the Masters of Evil are in Secret Wars. And there's still some bad guys in Secret Wars that we haven't seen yet. But now, the bad guys I'm referring to is the Wrecking Team, which is a group of bad guys in Thor's timeline, I believe. And it's a group of 4 guys. So one of them is the Wrecker, who is the leader of the 4-man team. And you got Thunderball, you have Pile Driver, and who's the 4th one? Bulldozer. That's who it is, Bulldozer. So there's this group of 4 that fought Thor a bunch of times, and they are in Secret Wars, and we have not yet seen them. But there is a Thor movie coming out. So will we see them in that movie? And if so, maybe they will play a part too in Doomsday, and they have to play a part in Secret Wars. Also in Secret Wars, you'll see Galactus, Magneto, Doctor Doom, of course, Doc Ock, the Lizard, Kang, the Conqueror. And there's a couple of new bad guys that they create on this planet. Who knows if we'll see that? But so Spider-Man has to be in Secret Wars, in my opinion. There's no way they cannot do that. And if they're planning, because supposedly Tom Holland signed on for 3 more movies, so there's got to be. Yes, sis, Kang. Kang is in Secret Wars. So I was confirmed that. So Secret Wars, what I'm referring to is the book. Kang is in the book version of Secret Wars. Will he be in the live action movie? No, there hasn't been any confirmation of him returning for that movie. So we just have to wait and see. There's been rumors on Marvel or Disney bringing him back to do that role again, but there's been no confirmation. I would love to see the same actor come back because he did a crazy, crazy good Kang. We will also supposedly rumors too is that Ultron is making a comeback because he was also in Secret Wars timeline in the comic. So I would love to see Ultron back in the live action Secret Wars movie. And I'm really hoping that they do because I mean, when Civil War came out, I was again bugging out that that we were going to see this massive fight. Now I've read the Civil War comics and it was a massive fight, but they sadly disappointed me with the movie. Looks like Big Bro is in the chat. What's up, Big Bro? Appreciate you joining. Glad to be streaming. If you weren't here earlier, so I said a shout out. Gave a big shout out to you, bro, for putting me on all of this. And I mean, as far as Marvel. So I really, really appreciate it. And telling the people here why I love these characters. And I mentioned earlier that my main one bad guy is my man Venom. Yeah. And second one was Thanos. Badass. I love Thanos. And my third one was Magneto. And I think my big bro, again, I feel like I got that love from him. And then revisited that character when the X-Men 97 series came out, animated series. Magneto was just so great in that show. And if you haven't seen the show, watch the show. There we go. Okay. Cool. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen that show, watch that show. It might happen to you like it happened to me. You're gonna see some old school characters, and then you're like, man, I forgot how I used to love this guy or not. But yeah. So now we're gonna go back to Secret Wars. So I hope they make this movie like they should, because Civil War, of course, you had a couple of, it was only like 6-on-6, I think. And then you see, and the teams weren't right. But again, the fact that we saw these guys fight was awesome. And then the last fight with Cap and Iron Man at the end, and they do that classic comic book scene with the shield and the blasters was awesome. So I hope that they do the Secret Wars movie right. I hope they put Tom Holland in there. I hope that's where they introduce the symbiote, and I hope we get the right Venom. I'm always you'll hear if you talk to my sister, my brother, you'll hear that I hated the Venom, Tom Hardy's Venom, because they don't have this symbol on him. He doesn't swing. Oh man, I can talk all day about how much I hate the fact that they did that. Um, and if you go back to one of my Marvel episodes on my channel, I talk a little bit about that too. In the where the closest thing to the original Venom we got was in appreciate you stopping by, bro, and catch the replay. Yee. And so yeah, in the closest we got to that original Venom was in Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and that's probably why I love Tobey Spider-Man so much because of it. You actually see the logo, you see him swinging, you see him use webbing, you see the fact that he can block out the Spidey sense. Um, so I loved all of that. Like the face was great. The only bad thing or two bad things I didn't like about that Venom was that he wasn't as buff and the voice was absolutely trash. But everything else I think was on point. I hate the fact that too that, Venom suit in that movie kind of looks like Spider-Man suit just with the original logo on it. I'll take it, I guess. Um but that was the closest we got to the original Venom. And I would love for them to reintroduce Venom in Secret Wars, or at least the suit. We haven't seen an original black suited Spider-Man. So I am praying that we see that in this film. Now again, I probably should have done some research on this Doomsday comic to see if that even exists, to see what that possible plot could be like. But you have to think. So obviously Doctor Doom's in it, right? So I would assume also in this film that we're going to see the Fantastic Four at some point, or maybe at least them being mentioned in this movie. Now, Doctor Doom is a massive, massive bad guy, just like Thanos. In my opinion, he's crazy strong, super powerful, and he actually defeats Ultron in the comic and makes Ultron like his servant boy. And if you've seen the movie Age of Ultron, if you see what he did in that movie, and now imagine Doctor Doom making him like his little servant in the comic. And I believe he kills Kang in the comic. So yeah, he kills Kang, and he did get messed up by a Galactus in that comic. And so Doctor Doom is a massive bad guy. Massive, massive bad guy. Now, in this film, they may put a lot of characters that don't necessarily belong in the film. Like, for example, in Civil War, I don't think Scarlet Witch was anywhere near the Civil War fight in the comic. I don't remember, but there were some characters in that don't belong. Even now, they consider Black Widow an Avenger. Black Widow is not no damn Avenger. She's Maria Hill to Nick Fury. She's not an Avenger. So they've done a bunch of stuff that's not necessarily comic book accurate, but so I would assume they're going to continue that and put a bunch of heroes or maybe even bad guys in this film that don't necessarily belong. So who knows? Who knows? So I know that we're gonna at least see the Fantastic Four. Will we see Silver Surfer come back from that movie? Will we see Galactus come back? All we know is that Doctor Doom is going to do something crazy. I don't think you can minimize what he can do. He has to do something crazy. Doctor Doom is a character filled with world domination and the need to be in control of absolutely everything and everyone. So him doing something less than that in this movie, I believe, in my opinion, is um, failing the audience. So they have to do something crazy. They have to. And on top of that, that is going to be Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. Has to. So, and it has been confirmed that the Doctor Doom that we see at the end of Fantastic Four was Tony Stark's or Downey Jr.'s version of Doctor Doom. That's been confirmed. So we know that this universe for Fantastic Four is completely different from, I believe, the 616 universe, which is where we see um, Spider-Man and everybody else. So this fight has to be in that universe. So, and now that we know it's in a different universe, what does that transition look like for everybody else? Like, how do we get them there? Now we know how they end up like that in Secret Wars because the Beyonder comes in and transfers everybody to a different planet. So I'm pretty sure the Beyonder has also the capability to bring people from different universes into a different one. And yet, people, hit that like button, subscribe, and appreciate the love, appreciate that, bro. Um, and subscribe to the channel, man. Help a brother out. Where all my geeks at? But yeah, so the Beyonder has this power to do that. So we know that they can bring all these people and all these bad guys through different universes. So will we see more of the Beyonder in Doomsday so that we can see everybody into that world and try to stop Doctor Doom? Will we see different versions of everybody? Will there be a different Spider-Man? Well, I doubt it. I don't think that's possible. Let me scratch that. I don't think that's possible because then you have to recast everybody we already have all over again. So no, I don't think that's going to happen. So they have to bring in everybody we have now into that universe to try to stop Doctor Doom. And I can see Doctor Strange helping out with that. If it's not the Beyonder, Kang, who's already been known to jump through universes, multiverses, in Ant-Man's movie. We have now America Chavez, who that's her power is to travel the multiverse. Will she come back? Will she teleport everybody into this world and fight Doctor Doom? Now that we know more too about what do they call it? I want to say they called it dream walking from Doctor Strange's movie, where you can take over somebody else's body or whatever from a different universe and control them or stuff. Like, will they be doing more of that? So what I wanted to get to with the Tom Holland part is he has to come back. Even though he may not be in Doomsday, he has to come back. And when he does, because he has to again, and if they don't, it's gonna be that might be a deal breaker for me because again, Spidey's everything, dog. And if you don't bring Spidey, why even do the movie? Don't even do the movie. Credit scene, was she that strong? Gotta let me know who you talk about, sis. And what credit scene, because I don't remember which credit scene I was just talking about. But so yeah, Tom Holland has to come back. He has to be in Secret Wars. So there's so many different ways they can do that. Now Chavez, she's not strong, dog. She's not strong. Chavez ain't strong. She does have that power, but she's an amateur. And the credit scene for Fantastic Four was the shit. Did not expect to see Doom that early. Now, how far into the future in Doomsday will this be as well? Because he comes at the end of that movie, in that credit scene, and I would assume to try to kidnap Franklin Richards. For what reason? Now, was it? I think I read something online where Franklin helps, or Doctor Doom helps him recreate a universe after everybody died. For all my geeks watching, if you know, let me know if I'm wrong. Um, but Franklin did recreate a universe or made a universe for superheroes. Um, I forget, but so could it be for that? Um, so that's why I also say we have to see the Fantastic Four in that, because Doom is I think the arch nemesis for Fantastic Four. So he's like, I feel like you can't show him without showing the Fantastic Four. And that's right, sis. Franklin Richards is the absolute strongest, in my opinion, but we'll see. Hopefully they do Franklin Richards right and show him. So how further back to what I was saying, how further into the future is this? Because are we going to see that little kid, Franklin Richards, that we've seen at the end of that credit scene, or are we going to see teenager Franklin? Because by now, I believe the kid that you see in that credit scene, by that point in his life, he's already like doing crazy shit. So I think that little kid can play a major role in Doomsday, and as a teenager, you can't touch him. So who knows, man? Like introducing Franklin is huge, and what Doomsday could be now. Oof, like maybe we'll see Franklin fighting and messing up Doctor Doom one-on-one after everybody got messed up by him. Because there's been times where Doctor Doom will mess everybody up, and everybody like, and then Franklin Richards got to come in and handle that. So, and also I believe they had to in Thor. So I'm thinking right now, the cast, what it should be at least in Secret Wars, and where they can possibly be introduced before that. So, for example, as I mentioned earlier, the Wrecking Team that could be coming in Thor's next movie, they should at least, because I'm pretty sure they got to bring out Doomsday first, and then it's Secret Wars. And I think in between those two is when Thor movie comes out, or it might be before, who knows. But the people they would have to introduce into that would be the Wrecking Team and Enchantress, because she is also in the book, and she's madly in love with Thor. But Thor's like, nah, girl, nah, you for the streets. So they would have to bring those two, or those bad guys into that film, um, so that they can eventually be in Secret Wars, just how they brought in um, Black Panther before Infinity War, Ant-Man, and Spider-Man. Um, they all had their own movies prior to Infinity War coming out. But they introduced Black Panther in Civil War because they wanted him in that, and he was in the actual fight in Civil War. So that's one. So Enchantress and the Wrecking Team has to be in there. They have to bring Kang back. At least they should, in my opinion. Because he did a great Kang. And they have to introduce the X-Men at some point. I mean, they already did with Beast and Captain Marvel, but and Charles in Doctor Strange's movie. And supposedly they're all coming back in Doomsday. But that's a rumor. I don't think none of that's confirmed. I don't is it confirmed? Um let's see. No, I'm pretty sure it's all rumors. So let me see if I can pull up here let's see, everybody in comic book uh Secret Wars. And Secret So it's just so that you guys can see what this should actually look like. So here's one. I thought this is actually, yeah, this is all the superheroes here. That's not what I wanted to see. Let's see. So right here we have the heroes. That's Wasp, She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, Cap, Thor, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Charles, Storm, Nightcrawler, Rogue, Cyclops, Colossus, Wolverine, Hulk, Spider-Man, Mr. Fantastic Thing, and and Human Torch. So these are all the good guys in that comic. Oh look, and here are all the bad guys. Uh, one second here. So here we go. So back here in the bottom, you see Enchantress, Ultron. I want to say that is Power Driver. I think that's Kang. I think this is Thunderbolt. I think that's it's super small, so I can't really see. And this obviously the big guy in the back is Galactus. You got King right there, Doctor Doom right here, Lizard, Ock. So again, these are the main cast here that we should be seeing in Secret Wars, right? Now, let's try to cross some of these out because I know not everybody's going to be in it. So, strong possibility of Kang not being in it. Ultron, you don't necessarily see Ultron die in the Age of Ultron. So big possibility. The Wrecking Teaming and Enchantress, possibility for Thor's next movie. Galactus, we saw. Now the Lizard, I don't know if this was intentional, but in that last Spider-Man movie, you see everybody. Oh, actually, no. That is right. They do take away the Lizard's power in that movie. So another reason why I didn't like that movie, because they don't become good guys. Why do they do that? That does not happen. And Ox, one of his arms gets cut off, and he too becomes a good guy. And now going back to Downey's Jr. or Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom version is in a different universe. So does that mean they're going to recast another Ock or just cross them out altogether? Which is very possible because Marvel likes to ruin stuff like that. And the Lizard. So I can for sure who we know we will see that would make sense is Galactus and Doom and Enchantress. Has to. Now, if we go to the superheroes, one second. If we go to the superheroes, everybody in here, pretty sure it's possible to come back. So let's see. The Wasp, they might have to recast the Wasp because I believe that actress had retired or she gave up or that last movie was her last time playing Wasp. So they're going to either recast her or cut her out completely and make somebody else. Now, at this point in the comic, the Wasp is the leader of the Avengers. Now, they also been setting up the Young Avengers. And so who the hell knows, man? Like, who knows what's going to happen? What team we're going to see? Who's whatever. But let's stick to this, right? So in the comic, Wasp is the leader. So She-Hulk has a good chance of coming back because all we had was her series and not an actual movie. So I can see her being in it. Maria, um, Captain Marvel, she has to be there because she was in the credit scene with the Beast. So I don't think they wouldn't put her in. Like, why not? She's there. Um, are we gonna see either Steve Rogers Cap in a different universe, or are we gonna see um Sam's Cap in this one? Which more than likely is gonna be Sam Wilson's Captain America. Thor for sure has to be there. I don't see why they wouldn't. Hawkeye. The actor is getting pretty old, so I don't know. Who knows? But we do have an Hawkeye, so that they can definitely put that in there. Will we see a different Iron Man? Because now Iron Man is dead and Downey Jr. is playing Doom. See, this is what I mean. They're gonna big possibility of Iron Man not being in it at all. Or will they replace him with Ironheart? Who the hell knows? If they do, ugh. But let's move on. Now, Charles Xavier, he was already in Doctor Strange. I'm pretty sure he'll be back. There has been talks about a certain actress playing Storm. I don't believe Halle Berry's coming back as Storm. I believe it's going to be somebody else. But for some reason, the original Nightcrawler will be back, and rumor is he's going to have this suit in that movie. And if he does, I will lose my shiznit. I would definitely lose my shizness. I do not want Ironheart. I do not. Ironheart, if suck my ass. But so yeah, there's a bunch of people that we still have that they can use, and there's a bunch of new people coming in. And it's a mix of new and old, and I don't know how to feel about that. But if I see this OG Nightcrawler in that suit, because Nightcrawler is one of my favorites too, and rumor is too he's gonna have his swords. Oh man, I'm gonna lose my shit. We got Rogue coming back. Well, again, Rogue's supposed to come back, but we'll see. I don't know if that original actress is coming back as Rogue. Who knows? Rumor is we're going to see OG Cyclops and the original Cyclops suit, which will be awesome. Wolverine. I do believe Hugh Jackman is playing Wolverine again. And we already seen that movie with Deadpool and Wolverine, I think it was absolutely great, especially seeing that OG brown suit that he wears and the fight with Hulk. I mean, you obviously don't see the fight, but man, that was perfect. So that's the suit he wore for Secret Wars. So hopefully they bring that back. Colossus can again come back. He was in Deadpool 2 movie, even though he was all CGI, but still, I would love to see him back. The Hulk, obviously. Now I'm over Hulk. Like I mean, at first I was a fan of this new Hulk with Mark Ruffalo, but nah, bro. That OG Hulk from the past, I don't know what his name was. I forget his name. If you guys know the name, put it in the chat. But that OG Hulk where he gets bigger, the more mad he gets, and fighting the dogs, bro. That's my Hulk, man. They need to bring a Hulk like that back. There you go, Eric. They need to bring him back for show. So now we got Professor Hulk. I don't know, man. We'll see which Hulk we get. And Man of the Hour Spider-Man has to be there. He has to be there, especially if they want to introduce Venom in the suit. They have to be there. And in this book, we do not get Sue Storm. Now, she is mentioned in the beginning of the book, but she doesn't get teleported with everybody else for Secret Wars. So may see her. I'm pretty confident we'll see her in Doomsday. I'm not too sure about Secret Wars. Now, again, Marvel is famous for rewriting all of this shit. So who knows? We may see Sue Storm in there too. But in the comics, she is not there. We only get Mr. Fantastic, Thing, and Torch. So hopefully they come back. And I know we're going to get this new Fantastic Four back. Now, if you saw my other show episode, not too big of a fan on Mr. Fantastic. They, in my opinion, ruined that in this last movie, but everybody else was A1 in my opinion. Just Mr. Fantastic. I didn't like Pedro Pascal playing him. I think he did a horrible job. Sorry, not sorry. So a lot of people that we know are not going to see, and a lot of people that are rumored to come back. A lot of people we still don't know. So who the knows what we're going to see in this movie? Why not what? I'm sorry, I didn't get to that in time, sis. Sorry. But yeah, it's a mixed bag. We'll see what we get, and maybe this Tom Holland thing is a rumor. Maybe we will eventually see him somewhere in Doomsday. I'm pretty sure it's been confirmed though that he's not in the movie anymore. But we have to see him in Secret Wars. We have to. Just so that we can get that suit, and then hopefully in the next 2 other movies that he signed up for, we'll see the correct Venom, and how he's supposed to look, sound, size. Hopefully, it's a comic book accurate Venom, and not one of these people trying to express themselves on what they think their version of Venom will be. So we're not entirely sure why he's not in it 100%. I'm only speculating on reasons why he may not be in it. And what, because I was saying earlier, bro, he was in Secret Wars, and Secret Wars will come out after Doomsday. So even though for whatever reason he's not in Doomsday, they have to bring him back in Secret Wars. So for all the big Tom Holland Spider-Man fans, do not fear. He will come back. He has to come back. If he don't come back, I'm going to be mad. And even though he may have ruined Spider-Man for me, but it's not his fault. But that Spider-Man has to be in there. Has to. And we shall see. Now, Doom in this comic book is crazy. And now, bro, if you're still watching, is there an actual Doomsday comic book? I'm not sure if you know that. If you do, let me know. Let the people know. I need to do some research on that too. But in this comic book alone, he is insane and he's crazy. You are an idiot. Who knows? Dr. Doom, please kidnap Zendaya so we can get Tom Holland in there. Please. We shall see. But yeah, Spider-Man has to be in it. I don't care. I mean, who knows, man? I fight or think about these ideas in these movies and possibilities, and I'm like, maybe it's this. Well, maybe it's not. So who knows, man? Who knows what Marvel will do? And I'm hoping it'll make sense at the end. But they've like that whole thing with Venom and bringing him into Tom Holland's universe and then taking him back out. Everybody was hoping to see him as part of the Sinister Six, and it didn't do that. So I really don't know what the point of those 2 credit scenes were, if not to do that. So at the same time, maybe I won't be as disappointed, I guess. But yeah, same thing. I don't think there is a comic book out there that's called Doomsday. I've seen games where he's plotting to like take over the world and stuff, and And just based off of this comic book, he's a badass, and he can definitely do it. So maybe I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how they twist up this movie and these comic book and the timeline and see what they end up doing with that. But I am praying that in the next Thor movie we get Enchantress and the Wrecking Team. I did not mention Molecule Man. He is in that too. He also played a part in this book, a big part. I believe at the beginning he somebody messes him up, and he's like, "Okay, I don't want to be a bad guy no more. I just want to live a normal life." And then he gets dragged into this, and he's like, "All right, I guess I got to mess everybody up." Um, I don't know what they're gonna do about Doc and Lizard. All right, big bro. Thank you for watching. See you laters. And make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, bro. Don't leave without doing that. I'll find you. So yeah, I hope they bring Enchantress and the Wrecking Team in, Molecule Man as well. I am hoping that what they end up doing for Lizard and Ock is that they somehow figure out a way for them to come back and get their powers again. I mean, they didn't die, so I can see maybe Ock maybe repairing his arms. I can see Lizard trying to regrow his arm again and having the accident again. Who knows? Who the hell knows? Will they replace Wasp? Will she not be in it at all? Will they bring in Rogue again? Will we see Iron Man or Ironheart? And what is the role with these new Avengers? Right? So apparently, that was the point too, right? Of introducing these TV shows about that chick possibly replacing Hawkeye. You see Hawkeye training her or showing her how he does stuff. We got Ironheart now. Tom Holland supposedly, I don't know how true this is, but another rumor is that he's supposedly leading the new Avengers. Which doesn't make sense because he doesn't have that leader trait in him. He's not giving me leader vibes. So who knows? Will we see all of the Captain Marvels in this movie? Will we just see Maria Rambeau's Captain Marvel? Will Beast be put in it since we've seen him in the credit scene too? Will Storm be in it at all? You have to bring in Storm. I mean, like I said, if I was a director of these films, I would say we have to keep this comic book accurate as possible. I know you got to try to fit it and make it realistic. And you can't do absolutely everything like it was in the comic book. And I get that, but the characters you can, but who knows if they'll do it. I'll be okay without Wasp. He was alright. I don't see that actress, or at least that version of Wasp, as a leader. And it's funny because in the book, they make Cap the leader of that team there. And I think they did that because Wasp got kidnapped and they thought she was dead. If they didn't, then that's messed up in my opinion. Like, you already have a leader there of the Avengers. Why would you just put Cap there? But anyways, so many things can happen. But who the hell knows? I will do another live once we find out more. And we'll see what happens, man. So everybody watching, what did you like? What do you think will happen? Hit that like and subscribe button. I thank everybody for tuning in. And I'll let everybody know when that next live show will be. And we will continue with these theories until these movies drop, and we'll keep you guys updated for sure. So I'm out. Appreciate everybody watching, and like, subscribe, follow the channel, follow the next episode. The next episode is already recorded. I will talk about the picture that was released from the Russo brothers, and I have some theories. So if you guys want to know what those are, stay tuned for that next episode dropping next Tuesday, the 14th. And you guys let me know too. All right, guys, take care. Peace out.